with the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 2, chapter 10, and we had completed till verse 9. Now, up to here, what we came to know is how this universe separated out. In a sense, at the beginning of creation, how the Divine Lord has to create himself as a creator, somebody who is going to now start manifesting the whole universe. This is how we understood. Today it's a very, very interesting topic from the science as well as from our spiritual perspective, because I don't think I have ever explained this before. So it's a very interesting thing. You have to listen to it first to get an idea about it. So we will have an understanding of how Narayana created this universe in a different manner. So let us pay attention to it. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, chapter 10 and verse 10 onwards. After separating the different universes, the gigantic universal form of the Lord, that is Mahavishnu, which came out of the causal ocean, the place of appearance for the first Purush Avatara, entered into each of the separate universes, desiring to lie on the created transcendental waters, which is Garbhadoka. Now, what is mentioned over here is the universes were separated out. If you recollect, I said to you that everything started from a point source, which is the Lord Himself. And I asked you to do a lot of visualization. That means, can you visualize it in your mind's eye? Today also we are going to attempt that, and it is going to be a journey into a very, very strange world. So let us look at the Divine Lord Himself. Okay? The Divine Lord is lying there, Narayana as we call Him, on the ocean of milk. Why milk? Because it has a colored kind of a thing, where it's white in color. He is lying on this Adishesh as a serpent. Now, the identity of Narayana separating out into Mahavishnu is by itself a very big jump. The unmanifest becomes manifest. Think like this. You are just looking in the air, in thin air, and suddenly an entity comes in front of you, as if he is forming over there. I want you to think like this. It is when you visualize this whole concept that you will understand how this happens. So Mahavishnu Avatar is actually forming over there. So this universe which we talk about, if you recollect again, is in the body of the Lord. This we understood. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we were doing this. So this body of the Lord houses this entity. And 2 days ago I told you, can you visualize how the child is forming inside the womb of the mother? Right? So today we are going to go a step forward to understand this whole thing. Imagine this Garbha. Garbha means the womb. In the womb, there is an essence of this universe, essence of the universe. How many of you know how the separation of cells happen? Those who know, like those who have studied a little bit of genetics and things like that, they understand this. So there is separation, from one cell, two cells are formed. From two, four are formed. From four, 8 are formed. 8, 16, like that. That is the progress it happens in. Think on those lines. The universe, which happened to be a single one universe, is separating out into multiverses, many universes. And in all those universes, they are getting their own space. As if there is a space getting created over there. I hope you are getting this. I am going slowly for you to understand. So after separating the different universes, the gigantic universal form of the Lord Mahavishnu, which came out of the causal ocean, the ocean which is the cause of this creation. Causal, the cause of all these things. The effect, the cause and the effect are something which we have understood, isn't it? So now there is a cause to all this. So there is a causal ocean is there. From it all this. The place of the appearance of the first Purush Avatara entered into each of the separate universes, desiring to lie on the created transcendental waters. Now, further to what I said, I want you to think on these lines. The universe is separated out. Each universe is a cell by itself. It is whole by itself. Now this universe, if you recollect yesterday's lesson, there is an authority which is manipulating it from inside and outside also. Correct? Somebody has to manipulate it, isn't it? Like in our body cell, do we have a nucleus? Do we have a mitochondria? All those beautiful stuff inside the cell is there. Every cell has got that. It's a world by itself. Imagine a body cell is a world by itself. Think on those lines. When this universe separated, even the Mahavishnu had a separation. He becomes Mahavishnu in every cell, every universe. So every universe carries a replica of that divine Lord. That gigantic universal form separates out into individual forms. Are you getting it? They appeared in the Purush Avatara. Purush Avatara means, you remember in the Bhagavad Gita we had said that he is the Purusha, right? Purusha is the principle. Purusha, principle, which is the source of everything. Prakriti is a principle of creative energy. Are you getting these two things clear? Purusha is a principle. Don't mix it up as some man or something like that. Okay? Because the moment you say Purusha, it appears like, oh, we are talking about some man. No. Purusha is a principle. It is that which is going to provide the basis of everything. The blueprint. Prakriti is the mother which creates. It's an energy source. All sources of energy are supposed to be female. We have already done this in the past. So I hope you got this clear so far. So in every universe, there is the ocean, and in the ocean is this great Lord, and he is asleep on the ocean on Adishesh. So Adishesh is also multiple. Mahavishnu is also multiple in different worlds. So far, so good? Good. So now let us continue. The Supreme Person is not impersonal and therefore is distinctively a Nara, a person. Therefore, the transcendental water created from the Supreme Nara is known as Nara. And because he lies down on the water, he is called Narayana. Now let us see how Mahavishnu avatar, when he separates out into all these multiple avatars in all these universes, there is a clone of his, kind of a clone. Imagine that. Every universe has the same data, the same clone, Nara. Now, why is he called not an impersonal? That means he is personal. He is a person now. Are you getting it? Unmanifest was Narayana. Narayana to Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu cloned himself in all these places. When he did that, so in that universe, the universe is called N-A-R-A, Nara. And the one who is ruling in that universe is called Narayana. Are you getting it? Same thing repeated in this place. Alright? But he is a person. That means he has a form. It's a formed being. So manifest happened. Are you so far getting it? Unmanifest to manifest now. So manifest happened. Now, we go to verse 12. One should definitely know all material ingredients, activities, times and modes, and the living entities who are meant to enjoy them all exist by his mercy only, and as soon as he does not care for them, everything becomes non-existent. So here you will find that Narayana, who is sleeping over there, is also a Mahavishnu form, if you remember it. We will call him by that form only, Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu form is there. He is sleeping on this ocean of milk, on Adishesha. Till the time he is paying attention to the world is going to be working correctly. I want you to think about yourself also. If you are working and paying attention, the work carries properly. It works properly. But the moment you stop doing all this, what happens? Everything goes to ruins. Even a business can go to ruin. Isn't it true? If a person who is a businessman pays attention, the business will flourish. But the moment he stops giving attention to it, it is going to deteriorate. This is what happens. So, one should definitely know all material ingredients, activities, time and modes. Now, this is something which we have to know. There are material ingredients involved in it or no? See, when I'm creating a universe, I need the material ingredients to form, isn't it? There has to be a time factor also. Time is also critical, isn't it? The way of creating it. That means if I am making a sabji, I need one vessel also, isn't it? So some place it has to be created. Some ingredients have to be put. The time is important. Can I make breakfast in the middle of the night or something like that? At 9 o'clock in the evening, I can't make breakfast. I have to make dinner, correct? So the timing is important. Everything is important. So and the mode of doing it. Mode of doing it is simply like this. If something has to be fried, it has to be fried. If something has to be, boiled, it has to be boiled. I can't do one into another, right? Now, if I perform actions differently, if I take an egg and I boil it, it becomes a boiled egg. But if I break the egg and I spread it on the, tawa, whatever you call it, what happens to it? It becomes an omelette, right? So differences are there, isn't it? So the modes are important. The mode of doing something is extremely important. Human beings should know for doing anything, the methodology, the mode of doing it is extremely important, right? And then there are living entities that are going to be there. All these are reporting to only one Mahavishnu, all right? Verse 13, the Lord, while lying on his bed of mystic slumber, generated the seminal symbol. Golden in hue, though external energy out of his desire to manifest varieties of living entities from himself alone. Now, when we look at something, some object, should it have a shape or no? It should have a shape, correct? Normally the shape comes about of the shape of the container. So think like this. If I am putting in a container which is like this, imagine I am having an ice cream and I am using an ice cream mold. You know how an ice cream is a stick. The stick ice cream that is there will come out in this form with one stick at the bottom, which you hold and eat. But if I were to make it into slabs and cut it, it can become a square, it can become a rectangle and a thick slab. If I put it in a form of a cup, it will take the shape of a cup, right? If I put it as a dripping liquid, you know how it is going to be. So in every way, you will find the form is dependent on the mold that is there. What is there? The mold. So you also got created by a mold. You were molded into a being. Every creature, everything in this world has a form which is a fixed form. Isn't that true? So if I have to look at a buffalo or a cow, they have a fixed form, isn't it? They have a fixed color. The way they behave is fixed. So if I look at everything, they have something which is peculiar to that particular creature. Right? So there is a basis of the structure, the way it is created, the different subjects placed everywhere. The ear is going to be placed somewhere, the nose is going to be placed somewhere. If it is a cow or if it's a bull, then you will have, horns and all those. Everything has to be placed in a particular place. I can't have something else in some other place, right? Otherwise it's going to become very stupid. So everything is molded in that manner. So there is a blueprint of everything. There is a blueprint. So the Lord wanted to create the blueprint first. So when you have to, let us say you want to write an article. Now when you want to write an article, it all starts with an idea. You throw 100 ideas, in that you select one. Now, I want to write an article on this. Now when you select that, you take a piece of paper and you write down, jot down everything randomly what comes to your mind. Correct? Now when you see this kind of a method, then it is sorting out that happens. Sorting. So you sort out what comes first, what comes second, like that. And then you mark something for further research. Right? If you really want to understand how this process happens, there is a very beautiful YouTube video, which is a very long video. It is of Johnny Harris, the way he writes the articles. every film that he makes, every YouTube video that he makes, the moment he posts it, within a month or so, it has already crossed 2 million, 3 million views. He makes 30 in a year, 30. And the process of making one video starts 4 months before. 4 months ago. And you have to see how he jots down everything. It's a process. That is the reason why the moment he puts up the video, it has 2 million, 3 million, 4 million views. That's why he won an Emmy for that. Now, I want you to think on those lines, how this process is so very important. He has a notion sheet where he writes down everything. Every scene is broken down and it is color coded. And that color coding means if it is red in color, that means further research has to be done. If it is some other color, then something else has to be done. Then the editing process and then the creating process, it's a massive thing. So even if a simple person, a human being is taking so much of effort just to make one video, imagine when God created this universe, how much of process he must have done. Imagine, that's the blueprint he is carrying with him. So that happens eons after eons, eons after eons, eons after eons. And believe me, it's like a continuous process. Once the process is over, then the next one starts, and then the next one starts, and then the next one starts. It's exactly like one article is over 4 months, second one is already there, third one there, fourth one there, fifth one there. Can you imagine this person makes millions of dollars just by thinking and shooting that thing? How much effort do you put in your own world? When God makes this, he has to put in a lot of efforts. It is not a joke. And that is the reason why he said, while lying on his mystic slumber, he generated the seminal symbol, golden in hue, though through external energy out of his desire to manifest varieties of living entities from himself alone. So he created a symbol. This is the blueprint of this symbol. This is where everything has to follow this track. And when he was doing this, it is something which we all need to do in our lives if we really want to be successful. And he takes it forward. So it all begins with ideation. It begins with writing. Om, the word Om gets written first. The Omkara happens. The beginning happens. Are you getting that? When we say anything, do we say Om Namah Shivaya or whatever? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We say this Om. So the beginning is like that. It's a golden symbol. It happens to be there. And every symbol carries the blueprint of this manifest world. Every creature, to human beings, to everybody. Alright? Verse 14. Just hear from me how the potency of the Lordship divides one into three, called the controlling entities. The controlled entities and the material bodies in the manner mentioned above. Now comes a very, very interesting part. This part is interesting because now you have to use a little bit of your brain to understand. You have to digest the information. How does he create this thing? Remember the symbol. The blueprint is there. Now the blueprint is one. How does this blueprint become the object? Are you getting it? How does this blueprint become the object? How many of you have seen how people create, say, metallic objects, or the people who work on murtis and all, how do they do? Have you ever seen? It's a very beautiful process. The process of creating the molds, first we have to create a small image of it, and that is done by means of wax. You know wax? The wax is used, and then the process continues, and finally we get the final product. Go to any YouTube video and see how things are molded. You will get a small feel of it. I don't want to explain the process over here. Please go and see some videos to get an understanding of the subject. Now I want you to think, what are the three things that are required in this? In everything are three things required. Naturally, isn't it? So now I am saying something. You can see me, right? You can see me. So I am your object, which is the one which you are seeing. The object to be seen or object to be heard, correct? And you are the final product of it. That means you are getting to see that object. So you are important. You are seeing me. So three processes. One is me, one is you, and the process of seeing. Process of seeing. In everything there is a separation of these three. So in the separation of these three also, I want you to think, there is the earth, there is the sky, and there is the in-between. Right? The sky doesn't have anything. What is in between? On earth we think atmosphere. In between are those stars and the bodies that are there. So everything is happening where? It is the process that is important, isn't it? So there to there, in between. The in between is the process. Examples I will give you. I want to make soup or I want to make tea. Ingredients is one. Process is in between. Final product is there, tea. Are you getting it? Ingredients. In the ingredients, what are the ingredients? Now you are going to forget the most important ingredient. So I will tell you the most important ingredient is in the middle. That is the vessel. Blueprint. So the vessel is important. Without the vessel, I can't make it. So earth is important, right? Like that, vessel is important. In the vessel, I will put some water, tea leaves, sugar, milk, or whatever that is there. And I got to provide it with energy, gas, right? Then the thing gets created. So the process is important in between. Final product is going to be tea. I hope you got the whole thing. So everything is divided into three. Everything. All processes are always divided into three. So just hear from me how the potency of the Lordship divides one into three, called the controlling entities. Everything is a controlling entity. I am controlling how you see me. You are controlling how you see me. And the third thing is the process of seeing, correct? Or hearing, whatever you want to call it. So these are controlling entities. They manipulate this in between. These divides one into three called the controlling entities. The controlling entities and the material bodies in the manner mentioned above. Now we go to the next verse. From the sky, situated within the transcendental body of the manifesting Mahavishnu, sense energy, mental force and bodily strength are all generated, as well as the sum total of the fountainhead of total living force. Do you remember what I just now gave you the example of? Same thing. Ingredients, process. Where is more activity happening? It's always going to be happening in between. The energy is going to get used in the middle. Remember when I put the tea leaves and everything in the vessel, I had to give it energy, isn't it? Energy is required. So energy is the in-between force that is required. So when God was creating these universes, what did he do? In his own body, Mahavishnu created sense energies, mental force and bodily strength. All these he put in between. You have to be created. You. So when you have to be created, Mahavishnu has to use this in-between material to create you. This is a process. Alright? Is it becoming heavier for you? Yeah, you have to use your brains for this, little bit of brains you have to use. It's a tough thing because this process is it is going to give you the understanding for your own life also. Alright, so we'll do verse 16. As the followers of the king follow their lord, similarly when the total energy is in motion, all other living entities move, and when the total energy stops endeavoring, all the living entities stop sensual activities. Right. We come to the same example of making tea. We have put the gas on or we have put the stove on. What is happening? The water gets boiling, and it creates a cycle inside the vessel. Isn't it? Does it create the cycle inside the vessel? Yeah. So all ingredients are in motion inside. They are getting mixed around. Isn't it the same when you go out and have, say, Chinese fried rice or something like that? He takes a wok and he puts everything in it and he keeps on doing like this, and sometimes he tosses it around, right? Same thing happens in this universe. God is providing the energy. There is a lot of churning happening. Churning. So a lot of energy is getting transferred here and there and creating the object. So the fried rice gets created when you stop stirring. Are you getting it? Once it is done, all the stirring is done, the person stops the activity. And when it stops the activity, the object is ready. In a similar fashion, when we shut off the gas, the tea is ready. We just have to pour it in a cup. Something like that, isn't it? The coffee, tea, whatever that you are making is ready. Similarly, the life on this planet Earth and all other universes, it is in constant motion with the energies. All energies are working. And they are putting everything in the right place, so that all ingredients create the object of our needs. Whatever is the requirement of this universe, that object gets created over there. Are you getting it? So, As the followers of the king follow the Lord, similarly, when total energy is in motion, all other living entities move, and when the total energy stops endeavoring, all other living entities stop this sensual activity. This activity comes to a halt. And then the object has got created. Next verse 17. The living force being agitated by the Virat Purusha generated hunger and thirst. When he desired to drink and eat, the mouth opened. Yeah, this is very strange now. Imagine. We will now take another example of the child in the mother's womb. A lot of activities happened inside the womb. The child got created. And now the child is going to come out. What is the first thing that he does? He is hungry. He is thirsty. Hunger and thirst are the first thing that affects him. So everything that is there is actually leading to that only. I want you to think in your world also, some object is getting created in the kitchen. It is smelling very nice. There is a nice aroma in the air and the object is made. Do you know what happens to you? Your hunger and thirst comes into the picture immediately. You want to grab that thing and eat it. Isn't it? I know some people may not want to eat it because they may not like it. It's a different story. But we assume that you like it. So it is always going to be the thirst and the hunger comes into the picture. So you have to drink and eat it. So when the child comes out of the womb, the first thing it does is feed itself. Because see, remember, he was fed inside. The Lord was doing the feeding inside, isn't it? The mother was feeding the child air, water, food, thirst, everything, all liquids and solids and everything. She was the one who was taking care of the child inside the womb. Now this universe has come out. The child is out. So the first thing that affects him is, I want to eat. I want to do something. I want to breathe. It wants to breathe. Every activity gets an impetus, gets a push. Got it? And that is the reason why the mouth opens. The nose is already breathing in. Mouth is opening. I want you to now visualize. There is the mother eagle. She is going towards her nest. And in the nest are those babies. Those babies, they open their mouth like this. And then the mother feeds the child. Isn't that how it works? I want you to think. This universe, when it came about, immediately wanted to eat, immediately wanted to do something to sustain itself. So it opened its mouth. So now do you see what is the thing that has started coming about? In between. So first thing that has happened is the creation of hunger and thirst happened. And because the creation of the hunger and thirst happened, the mouth had come into existence and the mouth opened to accept it. From the mouth, the palate became manifested, and thereupon the tongue also generated. After this, all different tastes came into existence so that the tongue can relish them. Now think about it. Just opening the mouth doesn't satisfy. It has to do some activity. So when I get the food, it has to be chewed. So I get my teeth. It has to be rolled inside properly. So I get my tongue. By rolling it, it also gets to be mixed around with the liquid inside. So there are liquid glands over there, salivary glands and all. And the bottom and the top layer in between this happens is called the upper palate and the lower palate, isn't it? The jaw is there, the jaw inside. There's a lower palate and then the upper palate and then the softer one behind. Right? So these came into existence. And when it comes into existence, it wants to know what it is. So the object called taste came into existence. How? The taste came into existence. Now I want you to think, if I pour something hot, very, very hot inside my mouth, does it burn? So it has to be the right temperature, right everything, isn't it? If I am going to eat the hottest chilies on earth, what's going to happen to me? I'm going to get very much affected inside. So we have to have the taste buds inside. And we got to know what is what. So some objects are hot, spicy. Some objects are going to be bitter. Some objects are going to be sweet. And it depends. So all the 6 tastes are there inside. They all are there inside for whatever that opens. The mouth opens, it has to be fed. All that is already existing. So now let us go back to where Mahavishnu is. Mahavishnu is created this replica of Narayana's own body in the form of an entity. This entity, when it is doing, then the churning is happening in between. He is in the process of creation. The creation happens, and when the creation happens, the creation comes out after all that activity. The first thing that it does is it wants to feed itself. So everything happens with the feeding itself. Even if you buy a car, let us say you buy a brand new car, can you drive it just like that, or do you need fuel? Without fuel you can't drive, no? So in a similar manner, if a child is born, it has to be given fuel. For anything, you need the fuel. If you buy a brand new phone also, don't you need to charge it first? It is called fuel, isn't it? It has to eat. It's open his mouth and he says, I want to eat. I want to eat what? Energy, power. In the similar manner, the child wants to eat something which is going to get converted into power. So far we have understood how this whole thing gets created. Is it clear so far? So now what we will do is, we have come till verse 18. One second. Okay, so we'll do one more verse, 19. When the Supreme Lord desired to speak, speech was vibrated from the mouth. Then the controlling deity fire was generated from the mouth, and when he was lying in the water, all these functions remained suspended. So the same mouth, the same place from where we are going to eat, same place from where we are going to eat, from that comes the sound also, isn't it? Look at all the creatures around, every creature. If it is a lion or a tiger also, if it's a human being also, even any other creature, the sound comes from the mouth. Always. It is because the mouth needs to be fed. So the sound is always coming from the mouth. If I take a volcano also, the sound is coming from that hole, the volcano, the caldera as we call it, isn't it? From inside it's coming. Everything, you will find that the sound will always come from the mouth of that particular place. So the next thing which comes about after the digestive process which we did just now, the next thing which comes about is called the sound. What is it called? Sound comes out. And this sound requires energy. The energy that I require to say words is provided by the fire. What is fire? Fire is nothing but energy, isn't it? It is the energy which is provided. I have the fire in me, then only I can speak. If I don't have the fire in me, how can I speak? So something makes me speak. That is the fire. The fire is generated from the mouth, and when he was lying in the water, all these functions remained suspended. And when the entity is not doing anything, it is lying supine on the bed. Look at a child. The child is satiated. It is lying on the bed and fast asleep. At that time the mouth is closed, isn't it? No sound is coming from the mouth. No activity is happening from the mouth. So this is what happens, exactly like the whole thing gets suspended, and the entity, whichever the entity is now in the state of stupor, asleep. So he was lying on the water, all these functions remain suspended. So we have come to the end of verse 19, and we will stop over here for today.
Recording stopped.